Talk UK, Pro Beez and Pep Talk UK head office. This is where I might scrutinise the accounts. This is where I might review the P&L. Now, I must give my take on a fight that I thoroughly enjoyed last weekend between Anthony Fowler and Scott Fitzgerald. Both fighters putting their O on the line in what was a fantastic fight. Now, the fight itself, I mean, there had been much talk and pre-fight build-up. I mean, if you want to know where the beef started, it was 10 years ago. Anthony Fowler got the win in the amateurs over Scott Fitzgerald. Since that day, or as DEONTAY says, to this day, there's been dislike between the two. And so much so that it led to pre-fight Twitter beef, you know, some personal comments coming about Anthony Fowler's missus. Scott Fitzgerald was doing as much as he could to rattle Anthony Fowler. Anthony Fowler was, you know, was chiming in with his bit. And the trash talk, it was there 100. But in fairness to both fighters, when they stood in the ring last weekend in Liverpool, both took the centre of the ring and both mans were looking to rock. And Anthony Fowler, as the home fighter, tried to assert his dominance over Scott Fitzgerald, which for me was just edging him in the early couple of rounds, edging him forward on points. However, Scott Fitzgerald really showed that he was game for the fight. He stood in there and took what Anthony Fowler had to give. And he waited for Anthony Fowler to start tiring before he started coming to the fight. So much so that at one point for me, the fight was level. You know, I'm not just saying that because, you know, I've interviewed Anthony Fowler before and I thought he was a decent geezer. I'm saying it because I generally thought the fight was level at a stage. But I would say from around round 8, when Scott Fitzgerald was starting to assert some dominance, the tide was starting to swing a bit. Well, so much so that Anthony Fowler realised what might be happening and said, you know what, this ain't going to the judges. I need to take this guy out. And he attempted to do that. And there was a point in the 9th round where he was letting his hands go. And I was thinking, well, you know what? It looks like he's pulled it out of the bag. But the granite chin of Scott Fitzgerald, you know, the will, the determination, the spirit was all there. And he survived. He literally made it to the last round. And in what was the championship round, Scott Fitzgerald produced a sumptuous left hook, or it was a couple of left hooks that put Anthony Fowler down in front of the home fans. And well, I was in a state of shock. I fully expected it to peter out and then go to the judges where, you know, someone might have sneaked it, or it was most likely going to be a draw. And then from that point on, when Anthony Fowler went down, you know, most judges, when there's a close fight, if you get the knockdown, yeah, it's a 10-8 round. It's as simple as that. And that's what proved to be the conclusion. And Scott Fitzgerald picking up the WBA International Super Welter title. And you've got to big up Scott Fitzgerald for showing the kind of heart, you know, that he did, staying in there. And it was almost a Rocky-esque type performance from Scott Fitzgerald. And I thoroughly enjoyed the fight. And having said that, if there's a rematch, 100%, your boy is going to roll in and watch that in the arena, 100%. And I'd just like to make that plea to Eddie Hearn. Let's get these two going at it once more. The Cheeseman fight, if it happens with Scott Fitzgerald, I'd also like to see that, because both fighters' styles would gel. They're both come forward fighters, Fitzgerald and Cheeseman, and 100%, I believe that would also be another classic. So in a year where I believe it's been disappointing for fights so far, big fights so far, British boxing still thriving. There's still up and coming fighters that are willing to take chances, and let's have these fights happen. Yeah, let's go, let's do it. Pep Talk UK, like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm out, your Pro Beez.